Good morning. It is bright and early here. You can actually just barely see through the window there. The light is just starting to come up. It is so early, in fact, I have not fed the cats. So chances are very good that we're going to get visits from one, if not all. In fact, Fluffy is sitting at my feet right now, and they are all saying to me, "Mom, you should be feeding us." But good morning. I am Rebecca Stark. If I haven't met you before, thank you for taking your time out this morning. I have been making a series of videos on where in the Bible it says, "Do not fear." And this morning we are diving straight in with a true do not fear verse. So sometimes the Bible explicitly says do not fear, and sometimes it implicitly says do not fear. So today's verse is a do not fear. And it comes from a really fun story. Hopefully you've read the story. But the verse today is from the book of Judges, and it's 6:23. And it just comes right out. It says, "But the Lord said to him, 'Peace be to you. Do not fear. You shall not die.'" So I think, one, that's a wonderful verse. That's all we need to say. I could just leave that with you. The Lord says, "Peace to you. Do not fear. You shall not die." Wherever you are, whatever you're feeling, whatever is in your life right now, I hope that provides a little bit of comfort for you. I can't say I'm abundantly concerned about dying, but I do I appreciate the comfort that comes from Peace to You, because I am hosting a tea. I'm hosting an event that my neighbor and I have been planning this for, I think probably 2, maybe 3 months. And it's exciting because it's today, but it's also a little nerve-wracking because it's today, because of course I want it to go well and I want my guests to enjoy themselves. So just that reminder, peace be with you. Do not fear. But let's talk about what this is, where this came from in the Bible, just briefly. We're not going to do a long video today, just a quick little background, because as I said, kitties are hungry. And I'd love to get you on with whatever you've got today. So the book of Judges is a series of leaders. At this time, Israel did not have kings or leaders in other ways. The people of Israel had judges, and judges would be appointed by God to guide the people of Israel. So what's very interesting in the book of Judges is over and over and over again, you will see the statement, "But the people turned away from God and suffered, and then came back and asked God for help." And that's exactly how Judges chapter 6 starts out, is the people of God had turned away from God. The Israelites had turned away from God, and they were suffering. And in chapter 6, they were suffering because the Midianites were actually coming around the nation of Israel and preventing anything from coming into Israel. And that led the people of Israel to a state of famine, and they were suffering. And everybody was afraid of, how long is this going to last? How am I going to survive? How's this going to happen? So in the book of Israel, God raises up different judges. God calls forward different judges to serve him. And in Judges chapter 6, as well as 7 and 8, we see the story of Gideon. And Gideon is just a young man, and he's trying to live his life well. Part of the challenge at the time is because people are turning away from God. People around him have turned to Baal, and Baal is one of the gods of the the people around the Israelites. In fact, we see, if we read on in the story of Midian, that Gideon, Gideon's father had turned to Baal and was worshiping Baal. And Gideon was called to destroy the altar to Baal in town, and therefore go against his father. Lots of scary stuff. But Midian is such an interesting character in the Bible because he questions God. Gideon's, he's so, and I get it, he's afraid. I mean, it's a big task to lead the people of Israel. But he just keeps asking questions of like, but God, why me? My tribe is the smallest, and of my tribe, I'm the weakest. Why are you using me? But really, God is using Gideon because when God does great things to somebody who appears to be weak, that glorifies God. So officially in this verse, God had called Gideon, and there was a little back and forth, and there was a little Gideon saying, I don't know, God, I don't know if I want to do this. And God kept saying, no, you're the one I've chosen. And so Gideon says, okay, hold on. I'm going to, you're God. I'm going to worship you. Hold on. And he goes and he gets an offering, and he comes back and he sets the offering on an altar to God. And he sees the angel of God. And Gideon is terrified because if a human being sees God, they don't survive that. So Gideon is terrified that he's going to die. And God says to him, the Lord said to him, peace be to you. Do not fear, you shall not die. And indeed, Gideon doesn't die at that moment. And Gideon goes on to lead a really tremendous, very unlikely battle. But it's a great story. And I'm going to leave you there because we've been chatting for a few minutes and the kitties have been patient with me. But I hope that you take these words to heart wherever it is, whatever challenges you are facing. I hope that you hear this. Peace be with you. Do not fear. That's what this whole series is about. It's just a little bit of encouragement, a little support, whatever it is that you're facing. I pray that you have some comfort there. And I'll look forward to seeing you again. Thanks so much and have a wonderful day.